Baldi's Basics has 16 achievements, and after I got them all for the first time, I thought it might be fun to speedrun getting them. But the speedrun actually turned out to be much more difficult than I would ever think. And after spending quite a few hours trying to get one, I got this run. The run starts as soon as I delete my old save file, and I immediately go into party style to get the secret ending achievement. In order to get this achievement, I need to grab quarters and go to vending machines and use the quarters for the chance to get the dangerous teleporter, an item that is necessary to get the ending. You can see why I tried to do this ending first, simply because it's all about luck. Even though Baldi's Basics is basically luck on its own, this one is the most luck based. So after getting the first 3 notebooks, I just have 3 quarters, and I use the first one and get nothing, but the second one does give me the dangerous teleporter, which is huge. I feel like the chance to get a dangerous teleporter is like 1 in 10 or something, because I've had runs where I use multiple quarters and not get it, whereas some other runs I get like 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, now all I have to do is just beat party style. This isn't gonna be very difficult as long as I get some decent items, and the lock is actually a very useful item for the late game. If you use the lock wisely, you can pretty much not have to use any bee sodas and just make it to the very end. Also, you're gonna notice that I'm actually waiting for my stamina to regenerate and then running instead of just walking. Since doing this is a bit faster, and even though I have a higher risk of getting caught by the principal, I think it's worth it as I do want to speedrun. I usually try to get the notebooks on the left side of the school and then leave the last 2 in this long hallway so I can get them both in one go. So I grab the 6th and 7th notebook both in one go, and this is where the lock comes in handy, as I can get its maximum value by using it at this door. But gotta sweeps Baldi right into me, although I do get the lock down just in time, and now I have to run around the entire schoolhouse getting all of the exits. The chocolate bar also is very useful, and I try to get the bullying time achievement where you get the principal to put it's a bully in detention, but the bully gets bored and leaves, and then with the help of first prize I get all the exits and get the final exit, which gives me the party winner achievement, and I immediately go and blow the candle and use the teleporter, which teleports me down into the actual schoolhouse, and then I go into detention to meet Noel, which gives me the Baldi's song achievement. So I just quit to menu, and then I get soft locked in this "Wowie, you just unlocked lights out" screen, so I had to force close the game and then reopen it. I swear I didn't splice the run. I have the raw run in the description that doesn't have any cuts, and also in the end you will see that the achievements I got also have the time that I got them next to them, so the time will match if somebody bothers checking. But whatever. Now I go for the endless mode achievement, where you need to get 20 notebooks in endless mode, and I choose party style for this simply because I like having random items. For example, sometimes you can just get a bunch of chocolate bars and bee sodas that are very useful in endless mode. But how endless mode works is Baldi accelerates slowly, but notebooks slow him down. But by the time you're at like 19 notebooks, he's actually very fast, so I have to be very fast at collecting these notebooks. I have gotten this achievement quite a lot of times, simply because I've done a lot of attempts just to get this one run, and I pretty much get it every time now, no matter what items I get. So I like to always get the notebooks on the left side of the school first, then the ones on the right, and then just restart, as notebooks respawn after a bit. So even though I'm getting trash items like scissors and the WD no squee, I will probably still manage to pull this victory. And Baldi is very slow right now, as I'm getting a lot of notebooks fast, although near the end you cannot even outrun him, so you're just gonna have to pray that you don't get unlucky. And after getting the 7th notebook, I try to run away, but the principal sees me running, so he puts me in detention, which usually is a run killer, as 15 seconds is just too much. But since I was very far away from the notebook anyways, I continue the run and just pretend like nothing has happened. Then there is the bully there, and he luckily steals my quarter, but I get the endless novice achievement for getting 10 notebooks in endless mode. There's an achievement for 10 notebooks, there's an achievement for 15 and for 20. Go get the notebooks on the left side of the school again, and even though Baldi's right there, I can just eat my chocolate bar and outrun him, since I'm gonna grab a couple notebooks right here and make him slower. And I get the endless pro achievement for getting 15 notebooks in endless mode, so with just 5 notebooks left, and I get to 19 notebooks by just getting the notebooks on the left side of the school once again. But always this last notebook is somewhat tricky, as I need to make it to the right side of the schoolhouse without Baldi catching me, as he does start getting way faster right now. Although since I was so fast, Baldi is still kind of slow now, and I go towards the notebook, but I realize Baldi is cutting me off, so I need to play Ring Around the Rosie with him around the cake. And as you can see, he's accelerating as we speak, and now I can just run. I also have a zesty bar. I make sure not to look at arts and crafters because that guy has ruined a run before, and I get the endless master achievement for getting 20 notebooks, so that's very good. And now I will go for the secret ending. In the regular game, we're always gonna go for the secret endings as they count for both the secret ending and the regular completion of any style, and I get in detention immediately. And now this isn't the end of the world, as Baldi is still quite slow here, but even with that he almost catches me. I do grab the tape and the chocolate bar just in case, as I did have to kind of mix up my route because of getting in detention immediately, but that's no big deal. I'm gonna be getting every answer wrong to get the secret ending. And after getting the 4th notebook, I wait in this hallway and I wait for Baldi to go away, as he can lose you. So I get the 5th notebook and go back to hiding in the hallway, hoping for Baldi to maybe go away. And now I would have run to the last 2 notebooks here, but I realized since the principal put me in detention at the very start, I messed up my route, and I normally have a B soda here, but I don't right now. So I try to get a B soda, but gotta sweeps me a couple of times. Not that big of a deal anyways, but I do grab my B soda, and now I'm just going to go to the last 2 notebooks, going around the schoolhouse just so Baldi doesn't cut me off. And I go grab the 6th notebook and also grab the quarter after getting the 6th notebook, just so I can get another B soda. I make sure not to look at arts and crafters, but now this is just free. I can just run all the way to the last exits. I also have a B soda when Baldi gets too close, and I go ahead and get the classic winner and Baldi's office achievements. You don't actually need to go into Baldi's office, you already get the achievements, so that's a very nice time save. And now I'm going to go for the demo style secret ending, where you need to get all the notebooks and then go back to every single classroom and answer bonus questions. And if you do all of the classrooms, you get a secret item that if you use in one specific place in one specific classroom on a wall, you will get the secret ending, because you will be able to go into a secret place. Yeah, a lot of secret things, I know, but that's fine. I'm actually very experienced in demo style, as I've beaten demo style with getting all of the answers wrong. And this doesn't work like classic style, where Baldi just becomes faster temporarily. No, Baldi becomes faster permanently, and by the end you cannot outrun him at all. You basically cannot outrun him even at like 5 notebooks. So, and the bonus questions also speed him up. There are also events that happen, and since Baldi actually waits a bit after you get a question right, I use this tactic right here to get the 7th notebook and just run past him even though he's right next to me. And the gravity event makes it just so if somebody is the opposite gravity than you, then he cannot interact with you. I use a soda here as I see gotta sweep, and that's basically asking for trouble. And since there were a lot of people in that hallway, I accidentally get the B Soda Pro achievement, which is very great. That achievement I usually save till the end of the run, but getting it this early on is actually a huge time save. The B Soda Pro achievement needs you to like spray 4 characters at the same time with 1 B soda. So I go ahead, grab the bonus questions, and Baldi almost catches me there. Thankfully, he was still congratulating me for getting an answer right. But anyways, I go to the starter rooms and get those bonus questions, and I hide behind the math machine, as it's a very decent way to just get Baldi to go away. And Baldi has a broken ruler now, which means he cannot kill me for a little bit, which is just the nail in the coffin for him. I go ahead, grab the last question, and place the portal poster, which is the secret item in the wall, to get the Baldi's basement and demo winner achievements. You don't actually need to go and speak to Noel, you already get the achievement, which is very nice. But now I will try to beat classic style with all 3 font settings. Now, one of the font settings makes it just so the hallways are all dark, which isn't that big of a deal. One of them mirrors the school, so now it's basically like an entirely new map and very trippy, although I have played this way too many times for the speedrun and I already know the layout very well. And the last font setting makes it just so the game is set on hard mode, which makes a few changes, such as that time still goes on even when you're solving notebooks, so you cannot just relax when you're solving notebooks, you need to go fast. The only upside is that the principal has a flashlight and you pretty much always know where he's at, and you know when not to run as you see a light in the distance. But here I like to wait for Baldi to be quite far away, just so I can get the notebooks without having to answer the questions extremely quickly, even though I'm very good at answering them quickly. Here I wait for Baldi to blast him with a soda, and I do so and grab a couple extra sodas right here. And Gotta Sweep is right there trying to sweep me, but thankfully I have the big old boots just for this scenario. And now getting these last notebooks is always a bit tricky, as Baldi might catch me, but Gotta Sweep actually sweeps me right into Baldi. I thankfully don't die, but then playtime is right here, and hard mode makes it just so you have to do 10 perfect jumps, which is actually way more difficult than it looks. And then I spray Baldi, get the last notebook, but it's still not over as I need to make it all the way to the exits. I get this exit and Baldi's right here. I spray him again and grab the lock. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. And now I just run. I use my scissors on playtime that I just got, and I run and the principal sees me somehow. I don't know how on earth this happened. I have never been caught by the principal. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but basically I never get caught by the principal with all 3 fun settings, and escaping detention with 7 notebooks is near impossible, so I just die. And I was really mad after that, so you have no idea how much I locked in. That was a huge time loss, so I really wanted to get a big time save now by completing this quickly. So I play a lot more ballsy, grabbing a coin from this faculty room and then not even waiting for Baldi to go away. I just straight up book it to the notebooks, with Baldi being literally right next to me. And now I blast Baldi with a soda and then get the notebook, which makes it just so I'm gonna have less time to get the 2 notebooks in the large hallway. But I make sure to save my big ol' boots just because I really don't want to get screwed over by gotta sweep again. And Baldi's right here, but playtime is right outside, so I have to wait for her to leave. And then Baldi's right outside, so I can blast him with the B soda before getting this last notebook. I answer it very quickly just so I don't get caught. I get the exit and gotta sweeps Baldi away for once in his life. That's very nice. And now I make sure not to get got by the principal, but I look at arts and crafters. This is something I forgot. You actually cannot look forwards, as you cannot even see where arts and crafters is, but arts and crafters teleports me in a position where Baldi is right next to me. Gotta sweep helps me out. The bully steals my scissors. I go through the room eating a chocolate bar and grabbing the tape, but thankfully I'm just in time to use a B soda and grab the last exits. This was very chaotic, but since I did it so quickly, I actually get 2 achievements at once. The wow, wasn't that fun achievement, which is rewarded when you beat any style with all 3 font settings, and I also got the basics in speedrunning achievement, which you get when you beat story mode in under 6 minutes. I wasn't even going for that achievement, but this was a huge time save, making up for the time loss that I got after being caught by the principal. So I was very happy right now, and I unlocked Null style. Null style is a bit different, as the only person there is trying to catch you is Null, and there is nobody else like playtime. But I have this special route that basically works most of the time, where I grab the 3rd notebook and also get a couple B sodas. There's also dirty chalk erasers that basically make a cloud around you, and you can hide in corners of rooms and wait for Null to go away, but I really don't like using them, as that requires a bit of RNG for Null to go away, and if he stays close by, then the run might be over. So after getting the 4th notebook, I open this door just so Null goes the opposite way of me, and I go to the long hallway to grab these 2 notebooks. Now this is different because I usually like to grab these last, but we have to kind of deviate from our normal routes in Null style. So I grab these 2 notebooks and now I'm at 6. I have an extra soda to blast Null right here, and I can just go and grab the last notebook, which is right here. I don't even need to grab the dirty chalk eraser. And a glitch exists. Null actually loses his hearing when you get the 7th notebook, but only until he sees you. So if he sees you and then you hide from him and then you open the door, then he will hear it. So I don't know why that glitch exists. It makes Null style much easier, but basically we need to only grab 3 exits in order to win, and I hope that Null doesn't run into me, but thankfully he's right here in front of the last exit, so I blast him with the soda and just book it towards the exit. I don't even have to wait for him, and as you can see, he leaves after I get the 3rd exit, waiting for me at the last exit. And now I'm gonna have to fight Null in a boss fight. This boss fight is actually kind of tricky sometimes, but you have to throw 10 items at Null. So the first one is that banana right here, and now he yaps about some stuff. I don't really care. My strategy for this boss fight is just going in the long hallways, unless I see some other items in other hallways like right here, and I'm already at like 5 hits right now. So the more I hit him, the more he's gonna speed up, and the more I'm gonna speed up. But the more I hit him, he's actually gonna become faster and faster, surpassing my speed too. So we're just gonna have to keep finding items, and thankfully there is a tree here that I can throw at him, but he keeps blocking my way to this tree, and I use this tree to hit him, and while he's hit, you can actually go through him, and I use the strategy to hit him for the 10th time and win. So that was a pretty fast boss fight. I get the glitches galore achievement. I'll explain that in a little bit. That's a glitch, but whatever. Now, since when you beat Null, every sign of him disappears from the game files, just so even if you reset your data and settings, then Null still isn't there. What I had to do was install a mod that brings him back and then uninstall it, just so I can bring glitch back. And installing the mod actually, I think, gives you the Null achievement for some reason. So just pretend that the glitches galore achievement I got was the Null achievement, and now I'm gonna get the glitches galore achievement. Okay, it's a bit different, but alright, I closed the game for a little bit just to change the mod, as it didn't work while the game was open. And glitch style is basically the same as Null style, so while I beat this, I'm going to explain why I downloaded the mod. I tried to just just reset my save file normally, but for some reason it didn't work. Like, I saw some tutorials on YouTube where you could just reset your save file, just getting a fresh new one with null even after you beat him. And after I tried that, it would actually not work. Glitch would be there. I don't actually remember a lot of stuff, but I had quite a bit of trouble with it, so I just stuck to using the mod and then removing it, where the mod is just replacing one file in the game files with the mod in quotation marks, and then when you want to remove the mod, you just put the old file back, and then that puts glitch back. So it doesn't really mess with anything else, but I just have to use the same route to beat glitch as null, which is basically the same thing, except you could argue glitch is a very tiny bit harder, as null sometimes yaps about stuff if he hasn't seen you in a bit, but that doesn't really matter for this route. It's simply too overpowered. And also I can just abuse the fact that regenerating your stamina and running is faster than walking, as there is no principle here. This was one of the fastest boss fights I've ever done, as all of the items basically spawned in the long hallways, which is the best case scenario, as sometimes they spawn in the inner hallways and you have to like find them, while also a bunch of walls spawn. But thankfully there are a bunch of items here and glitch just dies. The boss fight is much harder, I swear. I just got very lucky this run. But let's just imagine I got the glitches galore achievement now and the null achievement before. I didn't really get any achievement just because, you know, mod and stuff, but that's fine. Now I'm going to try the sweeping time achievement, which you get after riding gotta sweep while he's on sweeping mode for 30 seconds straight. This is one of the hardest achievements, if not the hardest achievement. I mean, it's definitely the most luck based, but one thing that really makes it easier is setting the game to hard mode, as if it's not a hard mode, then you have to run in the direction gotta sweep is going towards to even keep up with him, because walking isn't even enough, and that makes the achievement very difficult. But hard mode makes it just so if you stand still inside gotta sweep, then you won't even fall behind, you will just stay where he's at, which is very great for the achievement, even though I only figured that out like very recently for the run. But I do get a bunch of B sodas that help me manipulate where gotta sweep is going to go, and as you can see, it's going very well right now, but I get stuck in some chairs which are my main enemy, and I just have to reset as gotta sweep has left without me. It's always very sad when I have to reset, but this is one of the hardest achievements. I used to start runs doing this achievement first, but that wasn't fun at all, and also I get caught by the principal in the second run, so we're attempt 3 now for this achievement. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. But yeah, I used to start runs with this achievement and it wasn't fun at all, and I realized that the main point of playing like any game in general is to have fun, so I just kind of stopped doing this achievement first and just left it for one of the last ones, just so I can actually enjoy playing the game. And I just kind of hoped that I would get it quickly at the very end, but as you can see, this wasn't really the case. But once again, I just grab all of my B sodas and wait in gotta sweep's room, hoping that he's gonna go into one of the long hallways, as using a B soda in one of the long hallways gets its maximum effect, as once gotta sweep is on sweeping mode and he gets blasted by B soda while you're on him, the time will actually count as riding him, I guess. So I just want to blast 3 B sodas in the long hallway. I blast one in this hallway and it's looking pretty decent right now, but I once again get stuck and get in detention. So I really hate that one room that I got stuck twice in, because gotta sweep actually sometimes does go through some chairs that you cannot go through, and I find it's a bully right here. And the last achievement besides this one that I need is the bullying time achievement that I failed to get before, where you need to get the principal to put it's a bully in detention, and the principal just leaves me with the bully, so I don't get that achievement again. But I guess it won't take that long, right? Definitely not foreshadowing. This is still attempt 3, even though gotta sweep swept and he left me. I still have a couple B sodas in the chocolate bar, so I just say, you know what, this is probably quicker than just doing another run. I'm just gonna attempt it right here, and I wait in gotta sweep's closet and I immediately lose him due to some chairs, but he does go in the long hallway, so I blast him with the soda, but Baldi is literally right there, and in this case I'm just dead. That was a huge waste of time and I'm pissed off right now. I really want to get this, because this was basically the perfect run nearly, with only one choke. Everything else was first try. I basically never got those runs, but 4th try is the charm, as everybody knows. For the last time, I go ahead, grab my B sodas, go to gotta sweep's closet, and I start praying, please God, make it just so gotta sweep goes in the long hallway, and also Baldi, please don't be there. Also let me successfully pull off the 3 B sodas, because that's also pretty difficult to do. And gotta sweep tries to go in the inner room, so I just use a soda because I don't want to go there anymore, because I'm probably gonna get stuck in the chairs. So we go in the long hallway and I use another B soda right here. So now I just have to wait on gotta sweep a little longer, and we go into one of these rooms and I get the sweeping time achievement. All I need now is the bullying time achievement. There's the principal. He sees the bully that's literally right there, but the bully gets bored and leaves. I was literally right there. That was the last achievement I needed. Now I just have to look for the bully again because he got bored. After he gets bored, he just waits for a little bit, like under the map or something, and only then does he pick a new spot. But that's fine. I'm with my pal here, first prize, and I try to look for my boy, the bully, and he's for some reason nowhere to be seen. Like, how? I check all of the inner hallways and he's not there. Right now I'm like, oh my god, this is the last achievement. Please give it to me, god. But there he is in the long hallway. I run at him, trigger him. Now we just have to wait for the principal to get here, and the principal goes everywhere but here, bro. I go around looking for it's a bully, and I do find him. He's back here now. I trigger him. I make sure not to get caught by Baldi, and there he is, the principal. He's actually going straight to him, and the principal puts him in detention, and that is it. No bullying in the halls. That's the final achievement of the 16 achievements in Baldi's Basics Classic Remastered. This took a lot of attempts and a lot of pain and suffering. I do show right here my Steam page and how I got all of the 16 achievements. As you can see, it also has the time next to them, and if you sync up the time, it actually does match, and it's pretty crazy how I got the no bullying in the halls, the most popular achievement. I got it at the very end, and it was the one I really struggled to get. Okay, besides sweeping time, of course. So that was a speedrun of getting every single Baldi's Basics Classic Remastered achievement. I love this game, only when it's not being a jerk. The speedrun was like 1 hour and 12 minutes. I don't know, I don't really care. I got the speedrun though. Now subscribe. Peace.